So I am leaving again, and yeah, I know this time it's gonna stick. But I started thinking about what I would tell all of you at the end of my 20-year career, and I guess I would start off by saying that when I first started teaching in 2000, I was battling a pretty intense alcohol addiction, which sadly would take me another 13 years to defeat, but defeat it I did. And it was one of the best decisions I ever made. Anyway, I understand what it's like to be in a rut. And I understand that you do not comfort or rest your way out of a rut. And there's a difference between being in a rut and being in a row. A rut is where you fade, and a row is where you grow. Maybe you will experience some kind of success, Western culture's version of success by your community. But I think I would warn you against allowing other people to tell you who you are and what you are to be. Teaching you and your contemporaries for the past 20 years has been more than just a blessing. It gave me an identity and it gave me a purpose. This instructor that I have, this high-intensity training instructor, she's amazing. Her name's Amber. She commonly says there are 2 days that are the most important days of your life. One is the day you're born, and the other is when you find out why. What's your purpose? I'll get into that in a moment. But I have commonly said that life is like a t-shirt. It's like a borrowed t-shirt. If you were ever allowed to borrow a t-shirt from your friend for some reason, and you don't know why, that t-shirt becomes really special, and you just want to keep it. You don't know why. You put it on and it just fits better. If your friend told you that you were allowed to keep that t-shirt, however, it would end up in the regular rotation. The t-shirt that is borrowed is special because you got to give it back. And I would suggest that's life. We're just borrowing this, so it makes it special, and we really don't have time to be apathetic. I think we're a lot like computers, partly that we can delete programs that are bad for us, as I've done with alcohol, as I have done with lethargy. We can delete bad programs that hurt us. We can do that. But also like computers, if you ever sell a computer or give it away, you realize there are all these programs you never used. And we have so many things we're capable of. We can become great. Look at Hamlet's What a Piece of Work is Man's Soliloquy. I think that talks about it greatly. I'm not going to read it to you, but it's a banger. But we can do so many great and wonderful and powerful things. And you know, getting an education and learning a new skill, getting a hobby, all of these are kind of like upgrades, and we're amazing, and we can do these things. So keep your good programs and delete the bad ones. I think our dreams should scare us. I think we should be intimidated by the things that we are getting into that might become our future successes. I made a deal with myself. If anyone ever asks me to do anything and I say no because I'm afraid, but I know in my heart I can do it, that's unacceptable, and it makes me a coward. So I got out on stage for the first time, I don't know, 15 years ago maybe, to be in a play. And then I said yes again and again and again. And recently I just did some singing on stage. I keep saying yes to opportunities. And I got to tell you, I've said yes to a lot of opportunities that turned into nothing because I've written 5 or 6 books and made hundreds of dollars. But I keep saying yes. And, well, trust me, good things have come because of that. And you'll find out probably soon. Here's what I would advise you, those of you who are graduating and you're going on. Before bed, read 10 pages every night. Read something every night before you go to bed. And maybe it's going to be for school. I think it should be something that you're just interested in, something pleasurable. Read 10 pages. Brush your teeth, put on pajamas, and sleep in your own bed alone. And those things that I've just mentioned, reading 10 pages, brushing your teeth, putting on pajamas, sleeping in your bed alone, suggests that you are sober enough to do those things. And if you do those things, my goodness, you will spare yourself so much drama. I get it. The body is screaming that you want certain things, but those things are not necessarily good for you. So be kind to a future version of yourself and make good decisions now. Do all of those things that I just mentioned, and you will spare yourself the drama that will be going on around you. Young people will be hurting themselves in ways that you will not. When it comes to your school, go to every class, even if you're not asked to do so. Go to every class. I think 50, maybe even 70% of success in college is just going to every class. Go to office hours, but make sure you have a really good question when you do go to those office hours. You don't want to go to office hours and just be a nuisance. Study your notes directly after your class. Directly after your class that you took notes, study them, and they will stick in your head. Raise your hand in class. Be seen, be heard. Do not just be a number. And finally, exercise. Make sure it's cardio, not just bench press, not just curls for your biceps. Get water, hydrate or dihydrate, and sunlight. You need sunlight. Do not go from screen to screen. Do not go from classroom to your room. Get outside. Exercise, cardio, water, sunlight. All right, I've given you a lot in what might be 7.5 minutes, 8 minutes of speech. I want you to know that I love you, and educating you has been my honor, and you gave me purpose. Finally, when I walked toward my first classroom at the University of North Florida back in 2000, you've probably heard the story, but the door was propped open and 25 adult faces looked out at me. Roughly, 19, 20 years old. They compelled me to move into the restroom next door, and I looked at myself in the mirror and I splashed water on my face and I insulted myself and I said, "What are you thinking? What are you doing?" So I got back in that classroom and I started teaching, and I felt so compelled and ready to teach, and I realized that they had given me purpose. And you do that. You give me purpose. So find out what yours is. Go get them. Make good decisions. Be kind to your future self by making good decisions today. Deuces, youngsters. Remember, never forget,